So looking at things from the perspective of a student who has studied different subjects, what are the steps that you would recommend? How can they go forward, and how should they pursue their career?
And please add into that this idea of personal branding, because we hear so much of it these days that you have that personally you have to build your own brand, so please incorporate that into your strategies and advice to the students.
Absolutely. Firstly, it's extremely important to understand your area of interest and passion, because of course, there's a lot of things that we, especially as students, we essentially get attracted to a lot of different careers. But having said that, it's also important to understand your strengths and your weaknesses as an individual. And more than the weaknesses, I would say you should only focus on your strengths and how you can enhance and make those strengths better. So if you ask me, what is it that you need to do as a student today? We need to always keep learning, always keep studying, always keep understanding what is going on in the market. What are the global trends? What is the new technology? I think the more you're able to study and invest in yourself, the better prospects are in terms of not prospects, but also the understanding towards a subject. Because with all due respect, that's only that much that a school or a university can teach you. My second tip is always do internships, because on-job, on-site learning is completely different. And this is where you're able to apply a lot of your classroom knowledge into the real world practice. And this is exactly what I encourage children. And we take in a lot of interns as a marketing agency. And this is where we always tell people, you need to come in, and especially the students, come in, try digital, try social, try PR, try influencers, try an event, and then find your passion. Because even within the marketing space, there's so many different areas of potential growth. So the more you enjoy something, the better you should get at it. So the internship is going to enable a student to understand their areas of strength, which of course they need to further enhance, develop. My third thing is again about personal branding. No matter who you are, what stage you are of your life, you should have a LinkedIn profile. And this is where you should update your LinkedIn profile very consistently, very constantly, because the world is watching LinkedIn, especially. And at least for an employer as well, it has become a huge part of a reference check. So we would essentially go on to LinkedIn and then to Google and understand who the person is, and what exactly how the person positions himself or herself in the digital world. So, so we have to be very conscious, very aware, and very strategic where it comes to building your personal brand online. So a good sort of reference point is always keep doing a Google search as to when you type your name on Google, what appears, be it the images, be it the articles, or be it a blog. That's, by the way, when I go back to the personal branding subject, I think it's great if anyone enjoys writing a blog to come up with a nice WordPress website and start writing, because that is essentially a huge skill set that employers are looking for as well. How do you brand yourself personally? What is it apart from your curriculum and your academics that you spend time on? What is the passion project? So this is where you should have a passion project. If nothing, if there's this, you should always look at volunteering into different places. What are the social organizations that you can get involved in? A lot of volunteering opportunities are out there. So always keep an open mind and always explore those, and keep involving yourself with a lot of communities and people. So when it comes to personal branding, of course, online is one aspect, but also keep building that community and those people around you who can also, vouch for who you are as a person. So that always helps.
Yes. That is really great advice. I really like the idea of just always being involved. And the idea of a blog, is that do you think people really find time to read a lot online?
Absolutely. Google loves content, and people do love content. Of course, it's about creating content that engages. Now, that can be either through a blog, it can be through a video, it can be through, any sort of podcast. So there's various ways in which, but yes, content consumption on a daily basis is going up globally. People do read, or people do
Yes.
listen, or people do watch. So
okay, we need to work on our teacher forum.
Yes, we do.
Yes, exactly.
She is inspiring me for sure.
Glad to know.
Very much, very much. So, Anishka, I was actually going to ask you about the internship factor, and you mentioned it yourself. So, thank you actually for doing it. What intrigues me is that you mentioned you have been working in an MNC and collaborating as well. What aspects of those did you pick up versus what did you need to input from your side? Of course, everything would be unique because you are creating things yourself, you are the founder. But where is it that you feel a little shaken up or challenged?
Going back to what was missing and what exactly I saw as a gap is what I would address. And then exactly I'll tell you where the gaps were. So the big agencies and agencies only cater to the MNCs and the corporates because, back in the day, for example, because this particular agency was started as a PR agency. Back in the day, the PR practice was used for propaganda to win elections, to win campaigns. It was for the governments. It was for political parties to spread messages. And then it, of course, trickled down to a lot of MNCs who started using it very cleverly in order to put out their message and build their brand positioning. But when it came to the SMEs and when it came to the solopreneurs, there wasn't any agency who was talking to them. Because if you look at it today, more than 90% of the UAE landscape, business landscape, is SMEs. But there was not really any particular agency who was creating specialized curated packages or specialized curated campaigns only for the SMEs. So what exactly was the challenge that I have faced is education. So we being from the marketing space understand how we can make the most of it. But when you're talking to an SME, they never understood the power of earned media because for them everything needs to be an ad. Oh, okay, how much is it going to cost me? Well, an article is not how much it's going to cost you. It's about building your brand awareness. Okay, so how much is it? Am I going to be featured in X publication or Y publication? So the understanding and the education has always been something that we have had a challenge with. But moving on, I think our biggest challenges will be honestly with a lot of the workforce being able to adapt the new technology that's coming in. So with artificial intelligence coming in, a lot of the teams that we have, either with me or with anybody else globally as well, it's the adapting of the team skill set in order to meet those sort of to make use of the technology that's available. So example, with the tools like Chat GPT, I don't know if everyone's read about it. Chat GPT is one of the coolest AI tool which is now available, which essentially means that you don't really need to write your copy. You just write your keywords and there is a copy which is given to you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, absolutely. And with that sort of happening, the teams that are already in the marketing space or the students who are already studying marketing need to understand, okay, then what is my, where exactly, is it that I as an individual can yet add value? So that creativity